Wait. What the heck? Sonny likes a Pixar movie? This just can't be right. Something has to be wrong. Sonny, oh my God, blink if you've been replaced by a shield. Calm down. Look, seeing as the last two Disney/Pixar movie reviews I made were so scathing in the terms of my opinion on them, I can get why you wouldn't think I'd like this movie, especially after all the press this movie was getting on Twitter, online in general. And I was on board too with it. It was wholeheartedly gonna shit on it at the beginning of writing my notes for it when watching it. But something clicked about 5 minutes into the opening, and I just realized, of course this movie isn't for me. I know that might sound a little silly, but I feel like a lot of people think animated movies have to be made so any age person can relate to them. Disney kids from the 2000s are grown adults, but still cling to these movies to make them feel young again. And when they don't pander to them, they get upset or lash out. Maybe it's them feeling out of touch or old. Or maybe it's bad writing and they're right. That's up to the people to decide, and decide they have. People have been harping on this as some sort of indoctrination movie of either Chinese communist ideals or lay woke LGBTQ ally stuff. But after watching the whole movie, I can tell you it's not. To be honest, the worst parts of the movie for me are just characters being cringy. But is that really a bad thing? If a character is cringy, is it because they're unlikable or because they behave their age? That being 13. This movie isn't shy about making sure you know that it was made specifically for the market of girls beginning to transition into womanhood, and it's plain to see. I'm not that demographic. I mean, just look at me. I'm fat, black, 22 going on 23, and a man. I mean, I'm basically positive that me going into the theater going, 1 ticket to Turning Red, please, will get landed on some list. But I digress. And digress I shall to this video's sponsor, HelloFresh. Are you constantly ordering food when you can be cooking at home? Do you spend hundreds a month on food without cooking a single meal in your house for yourself? Well, let me introduce you to HelloFresh, the meal prep company that sends you ready-to-cook meals directly to your house, and boy, are they good. Last month, I cooked the shroom and Swiss pork burgers on stream, and it was genuinely great. It only took me around 30 minutes to cook. They have all sorts of meal plans that change out weekly, so you always have something new to try. And with my code POGSC1367, or using the link in the description, you can get your first week as low as $25. That's right, 2 meals with 2 portions each for only $25. And if you enjoy HelloFresh, you can get up to 16 free meals and 3 mystery gifts spread across 6 boxes. Thanks again to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Disclaimer now, but this video will include spoilers for Turning Red, so if you want to watch it, feel free to come back after watching the movie. I'll wait for you. Done? Alright, let's get into the plot points in the movie. So this movie honestly is just a basic coming-of-age story for our main character, May, as she starts to become a woman. Represented with her shift in behavior with liking boys, but also with the coming of a family curse in which she turns into a red panda. It's not a bad story and it executes well, but again, it has the problem with most Disney movies now, with being a spoon-feed the beginning exposition to the audience without actually letting it stand on its own. I don't know when this trend started, but it really began feeling shoehorned in with Encanto, which I talked about in my review of it in the last video on my channel, which you should watch. Turning Red's opening is much more blatant with the explanation of the story to the audience, with characters talking directly to the camera as if being interviewed before the events of the movie begin. Was it really necessary to have characters talk to the camera like that for the span of 5 minutes? Besides that and the incredibly cringy girl boss dance moves and the writing they had for May, the rest of the movie is tame in comparison. It almost feels like they only did that just for the marketing push. You know, now that I'm talking about it, Encanto and Turning Red are more similar than I thought, with both having to do with some sort of intergenerational trauma brought on by magical gifts. Maybe it's because I can relate to the 2000s more, but I just honestly had a better time enjoying Turning Red since it played more into a realistic form of trauma. It might be a stereotype at this point, but the whole Asian parents overcompensating for their childhood and wanting to use their kids to have a second chance at doing things they couldn't is strong at play here. It's a vicious cycle. It only gets worse generation after generation since each parent adds more pressure to perform for their family. I say that Turning Red is better in the representation of this simply because it isn't trying to be catchy with songs to distract from the fact that people are hurting. There are a lot of scenes where May reflects on her actions that are perfectly normal for an aging girl, but don't fit into the plan her mom has for her. Scenes like the one after her mom shows the drawings to Devin, the clerk at a store May was beginning to have a crush on, where she cries in the mirror lamenting that she has to be her perfect girl and she should have thought before she drew those things, just shows how ingrained in her this push to be perfect and have no deviations to what her mother wants.
You are her pride and joy, so act like it! This will never happen again.
I don't know, if you had the choice which you relate more to, would you pick Isabella or May? Both have pressures to be the best representation of their family, but Isabella just feels like a two-dimensional character compared to May. Alright, I'll stop comparing the two movies to each other, even if I do believe Turning Red delivers where Encanto falls flat. One last thing I'll say about the two is that in 20 years, while you might still remember the songs in Encanto, the one favorite more of the two movies will definitely be Turning Red. It's just better written all around. Getting back to the plot of the movie, the main goal our characters are working towards is a concert to a boy band, Four Town or something, I don't know. May and her friends begin selling pics and meet and greets to see her red panda form to raise money to go, selling merch and all the like while she lies to her mom about going to a math club. Around the beginning of the part where she starts using her powers regularly, her mom has this very foreboding conversation that she must get rid of the panda form since it's too dangerous and how it can't fail. And the whole time I'm just sitting here like, she's gonna keep it, isn't she? I mean, I wrote it in my notes 30 minutes into the movie, like, for crying out loud. Honestly, for me, the plot points in the movie aren't really as important as the characters and the relationships they have with each other. We see May rebelling against her mom, just as she did with her own mother. We have the three main friends May has, which I forgot their names since they aren't important for real. They're just, you know, the wacky characters. Wait, is that Alberto from Luca? Wait, that's totally Alberto from... They reused that model, did they? That's crazy. Say mannerisms and everything. Oh my God, how blatant can you get? All right, that part where I said the friends aren't important isn't actually true, by the way. They're the main reason why May is able to control her emotions when around her family. There's a saying, you can't pick your family, but you can pick your friends. I'm not saying May doesn't love her family, but it's definitely not the same kind of love she has towards her friends in the beginning of the movie. The relationship she has between her friends and her mom are like a yin and yang of sorts. May's mother doesn't like her hanging with them since they represent free thinking and stop her from being the superstar she always wanted. But on the other hand, May's friends don't like her mother since she represents the oppressive nature families can have in stopping the exploration of new experiences and being herself without judgment. This movie is really just a big metaphor for growing up, and I think that's kind of cute in a way. Everything leads up to a choice, choosing either to be like your family or be what you want to be, or some sort of mix in between. I think May's dad had a great conversation with her. All throughout the movie, he was shown to be supportive of her ventures and that he wanted to trust her with going to the concert, and in the final moments before the ceremony, starts to talk to her about not giving up so easily. This really reminds me of another movie that's kind of similar to Turning Red, Bubble Boy. You might not have heard of it, but
So what? $500?
Yes, I would like $500.
You want $500?
Yes, I would like $500.
You want $500?
Yes, I want $500!
Bubble Boy. May's parents remind me a lot of Jimmy's parents, the dad being a soft-spoken, supportive person, and the mom overbearing to the point of locking her son in a bubble for 18 years to protect them from the outside world. Is that really much different from trapping the panda away forever? So of course May chickens out of the ceremony. We get a scene of her arguing with her mom before running to the concert, fully using her powers to get there, and wow, the animation here is amazing. Like I know people have been saying that they hate the animation style, but I really think it's cute in this movie. I love the movement she has jumping from rooftop to rooftop, poofing in and out of her panda form to jump higher. The enthusiasm she has as she runs towards her new life, towards her freedom. It's just amazing. We get a reveal of May's mom's panda form, which is just a gigantic foreboding presence that reminds me of something like Bowser from Bowser's Fury, with how menacing she is. And we have May literally fight her mom to finally tell her that she is who she is, and that she was the one who wanted to do everything that happened and not to blame her friends. May's relatives help to get her mom turned back human and start the ceremony. And there's a point where the relatives sing traditional Chinese chants while the boy band sings over it, and it blends so well. We get a heart-to-heart with May's mom when she cries about disappointing her mother, making everything come full circle. The movie ends off with her mom accepting who she is. We even see May sporting only her panda ears and tail as she finally gets to go out to do karaoke with her friends. A nice ending to this coming-of-age movie. I don't know what to say. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to like this movie as much as I did. It's not my top 10 or anything, but I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. The introduction was pretty cringe, but other than that, it was a pretty good movie. The OST was amazing. Shout out to the composer. Great job. I like the animation. The style was pretty interesting to look at. And I just really like the movie, honestly. I don't know what to tell you. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment saying what you want to see next time, and join the Discord, discord.gg/Sunny.